Hey
This is a
Martina,
song.
how's life? Happy Friday. Happy Friday.
Well, here in Perth, very good, very well,
Yeah,
and
life is chill and casual and cool in
yeah,
Australia.
very hot, very very
It's
hot.
summer.
I'm waiting
Is
for
it
the
summer?
autumn.
Like what? Mm,
Yes, well, we are officially in autumn, but it's still summer. 42
okay.
degrees. Wow.
How was it? How was it moving to Australia? Like is it a huge cultural difference?
Well, for me, wasn't so huge because I lived in Italy for many, many years. So actually, I feel very well here in Australia. But actually, the weather is very, very strange. I can bear this hot because my summer is very long. It starts June last year, so I'm still in summer, and I just need some cold, some rain, and yeah. But well, the life is completely different here. The culture is completely different. So we are going to talk about this now.
Absolutely. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Productivity Mastery. Happy Friday, everybody. I'm very excited about this episode because my guest is absolutely brilliant. Dr. Martina Georgieva. She's a director of HR. She has a lot of experience also internationally, as you can hear. And for some reason, she is very passionate about the topic of toxic culture. One of these topics that I can see creates a lot of interest, Martina. I wonder why the topic is creating a lot of interest around our listeners. Many people wrote me, they post in the comments. So yeah, can't wait to get into it. Everybody who's joining us live and listening to the podcast live, make sure to tune in. Let us know where in the world are you joining us from, first of all. And then later on, we're going to take some questions. So if you have any questions to Dr. Martina Georgieva connected to the topic, feel free to post them. We'll try to take some questions. But Martina, let's maybe start from there. What is toxic culture? I feel like these days everybody talks about, oh, we have toxic culture this, but I don't think there's a clear definition. What is toxic culture to you?
Well, I want to start with a very interesting story that actually shocked many people around the world. It's a very beautiful story, but it's also a very sad story. It was on the news, and people everywhere talk about it. And this is the story of Punch. This monkey, do you remember the monkey? I will explain very shortly. I think that everybody knows this story. This is the story of this monkey, which was born in a British zoo, and his mother rejected him right after birth. So the keepers saved him and raised him, and they gave him a teddy mother, a teddy monkey. So he lives and lived, and he still lives with this monkey. But the very interesting thing here is that when he tried to get close to the group, actually, the monkeys, they attacked him and they reject him because this monkey was different. So this story, actually, it's very beautiful. And now finally, he found a group, and he's happy. So we can be very, we can be happy for the monkey. But it's a story that actually have some lessons for us. This story went around the world, and it's actually more just a sweet story because this group didn't exclude Punch because they were bad, but because their brain just told them he's different, he's not part of the group, so we have to exclude them. So this is actually very common, and this is called in-group, out-group mechanism. And well, actually, we see that. This is a kind of bullying. This is kind of toxic culture that we can see also in the corporate world. But the difference here is that they are animals, they are monkeys, so they just have their brain. This is something biological that say to them, we have to reject him. But this happened in the corporate world. So actually, I can't answer to your question now because we have 1 hour. And toxic culture has a lot of forms, could be everything actually. But I want to focus on one of these, which is exactly this kind of form. And it's called ostracism. And it's very common, but actually, it's something that we think that it's normal because we see it in the animals. We see it at school. Probably many of us lived this kind of situation. We see it in our life and we see it in the corporate world, and we think that this is normal, to be rejected, to be excluded, to be put in the corner. uh, and this is actually very common form, but nobody talks about it. And the damages are very, very um, dangerous because actually it's something that I always repeat, and there are studies about it. Research say that actually loneliness, it's we can compare to a chronic illness. So to be alone actually is not only sad. For punch is the same. Actually, this monkey was going to die if the keepers didn't give him this monkey, or they were actually trying to find this group for him, because without the group, the monkey will die. The same is with us, actually. So we are, well, we are animals. We are social animals, but we are animals.
Mm.
So loneliness, it's, as I said, could be compared to a chronic illness. Imagine to be sick, to be ill every day for weeks, months, years. This is something I don't know who can stand this. Well, actually, but actually, we are doing this, working in a toxic uh, places, in a toxic um, workplace culture. So to be the relationships in the workplace, they are not luxury. Well, in life, but also in workplace, they are a vital need. So sometimes it seems to be a just a complaint. Oh, they don't talk to me, they don't say hello. Well, but we are not children. Don't care. Who cares? Go there, do your job. No, no, it's not like this. Well, the damages are really, really um so the price that we pay to work and to live in a toxic culture is like Italians say, very salty. So we have to do actually not only one podcast, a lot, and to talk about a different
Mm.
form of toxic culture. But this is something that I saw in my career, in my experience, that I saw it very often, and actually nobody talks about this.
And what are some of the signs? Like, how do you know you're in a toxic culture? You've been in different places, you observe, you're researching and studying a lot of them. Like, if
Yeah.
you can just give some examples of what kind of culture is toxic culture?
Well, if we are talking about ostracism, actually, what happens that you start in a company, well, you have to work in a team, but for some reason you don't receive the email that you have to receive. You are not in a meeting that you have to be in this meeting. So these are very small. Red flags. Well, maybe at the beginning you are, but then you start to be excluded from meetings, from emails, something important, a project that you have to be part of. At some point, your manager tells you that you don't have to be part anymore. Things like this, and at some point you have to uh, well, you start making questions, why they didn't invite me, why I didn't receive this email, why I'm not in this meeting, why I'm not invited in the party at the party. So and you start questioning not the system, not the organization. You start seeing something wrong in you. Well, maybe the problem is me. Maybe I'm not the right person. Maybe I'm I did a mistake and I don't know where I did this mistake, what mistake I did. So a lot of questions, you know. So uh this is at the end, you, because nowadays everybody is we measure ourselves with our position with the organization where we work. The So the position that we have, the work that we have actually is us, which is very wrong. But well, this is the world where we live in. So that's it. And when you start to be excluded from all this, you start to think that you are not enough, that something is wrong with you. And something that I really want to say, and I must say, is that this is done on purpose, because we are not monkeys. And when management and when leadership does this, is because it's on purpose. When the team is doing this, when your team doesn't includes you in, I don't know, in one meeting, in an email, in everything, is on purpose. It's not because they didn't realize that you are not in this email or you are not in the meeting. So this is the worst thing that happened. Everything that is done in the toxic culture is done on purpose. This is my opinion. And well, when I receive a lot of I receive a lot of comments on my post on LinkedIn or my articles. Well, but if you are working in a toxic workplace, it's because something is wrong with you, because you don't have the courage to do this. We can change the situation. No, we can't. We are just one person, one employee in with other 1,000 people. We can do this. Actually, it's, and sometimes we can't change the toxic organization because we have a family. We have to feed our family. We have to provide for our kids, for our mother who is ill. So it's not so easy. I received a lot of comments, and when I read these comments, I'm so angry because it's not true. It's this kind of sentences that I really they are not true. If you live in the real life, you can't do this. If you have been in a toxic workplace, you can't say this. This is
Is it
mm,
is it
people that
usually one is it usually, one bad leader, let's say somebody who's at the top of the chain, that contributes to this type of culture being created? Or is it kind of like more the frog that is being boiled, the story, right? That's like a bunch of tolerated toxic behaviors that over time compound and then contribute to this culture being created. Where do you think is the creation of such culture starting?
the creation of the toxic culture is, I think that it's from the owner or from the CEO or who is on the top, because I can behave in some way if my CEO doesn't tolerate this or if my manager doesn't tolerate this. So I think that everything starts from the top. We have this very popular sentences in our Bulgarian culture that say that everything starts from the top, and this is true because when a bad behavior is tolerated from the top, then everybody is behave like this. So it's not just a new employee or a group of employees that they are the bullies of the organization, and from them it's the toxic culture is born. This is not true. Absolutely no. We have toxic culture. We have this kind of behaviors because someone is tolerating this, and this someone is on the top. That's it.
But
And
you said usually they do it on purpose. Like if there's this type of
yeah,
behavior, they on purpose, meaning either their values of the top leadership
yeah.
are like that they don't care maybe, or they think that through this type of behavior it's going to be good for them and for the organization. Do you think it's a lack of awareness with many leaders that come from a maybe more traditional management style, more that like the Jack Welch, go high, just high performing, let's move, and punishing and so on? Like, do you think it's the lack of awareness in their value system, or it's something else?
It's their value system, I think. This is their value system, that as a person, and then this is also in their organization. Uh, and I I can't forget this. I had a colleague where I started in one of the companies where I work, and I had to create an HR department from scratch. And I'm a very friendly person, very easy person. I'm smiling and I'm talking and I'm just saying we have to do this and we have to do that. This is good for us. We have to change this and that. But I'm really calm. I don't need to shout. I don't need to do anything because I'm not this kind of person. Uh, and I was really surprised because nobody cares. In Bulgaria, especially HR department. Who cares about this department? So I was saying and saying and saying, and I was really fed up at the end. And I say, why these people don't want to follow? Because this is something good for their organization. I was talking to the management, uh, and I can't forget this. One of my colleagues told me, "Well, Martina, because you're too soft, you have to go there. You have to be more aggressive, more aggressive. You have to go there. You have to hit on the table and say, we are going to do this, and that's it." And I was really shocked because this made me think about the idea of leadership that we have in some organizations. So because the strong manager is the manager who goes there and shout on the people and is aggressive and doesn't care about the people's opinion. I'm always asking, what do you think? Do you think that this is good? I'm this kind of person. And I was really shocked. And I thought, well, yeah, it's wrong, but it's not wrong. It's not my behavior that it's wrong. I think that your way of thinking it's wrong. And this is I think that this is the problem, that we have this kind of idea of the leader, the strong leader. And very often when you're software, where you're human, they think that you are weak. Uh, Here in Australia is completely the opposite.
Is
I
it?
was I was really shocked when when I came here. Everybody was so nice. They are really nice people, and this
Mm,
is my idea of perfect world.
mm,
And I'm not joking. People are really nice. They don't need to be so aggressive because there's no need to be like this. And now, of course, from 2022, there is a law. And this is something really revolutionary especially for us in Bulgaria, because now the toxic culture, it's compared to it's a risk, it's a health and safety risk. And it's if, for example, the ostracism, if I complained because I'm excluded from emails, meetings, and blah blah blah, this is compared to a broken arm. Someone just broke his arm, which is something. And and here now, finally, something that I'm always saying this, that actually the responsibility is not to the employee, but is on the leadership. And I'm answering to your question. From
mm,
where starts the toxic culture? Because here they understood that actually the problem is not the employee who is complaining, who is not so resilient. No, the problem is the manager who is tolerating, who is creating this toxic culture. And here, by law, you must prevent this toxic culture. and not just saying, well, but he's complaining, because in Bulgaria it's like this. Oh, she said that we have problems. Oh, let's fire her. She's creating only problems. She's just complaining. We don't need this kind of employee. No, it's
So
better
you're
without her. No,
tolerating people to be quiet and to shut up and not point out the problems,
exactly,
right? Which contributes to this kind of
exactly.
culture.
Yes,
By the
yes,
way,
because
and by
in
the way,
Bulgaria, yeah,
talking about toxic culture, like, and what you said about the being soft, being caring, being warm is actually a good thing. If you
really,
have the other thing as well, I don't see what, like, being only soft. That's not good. You can be high performing, you can be demanding, you can be strict, you can have deadlines, and you can be
yeah,
nice and kind and make people belong, make them
exactly,
feel that they're part of something. Like, for to me, Martina, to me, it's like always there's two pillars. If you want to
yeah,
create a healthy culture organization, there's two pillars: productivity and people.
perfect, yeah,
Everything you do
exactly,
is, how can we produce results? How can we create systems? How can we be efficient, effective, focus on the things that matter, get rid of the waste, right? Get rid of all the
absolutely,
toxicity with complaining and blaming and pointing fingers and gossip and all these kind of things. And then it's the soft part, like, which I think that the
absolutely,
previous kind of generations and leadership is not really looking at it as something that's important, and it is, because we're humans. We are not, we don't have only AI employees yet. There's humans have feelings and emotions, and you have to understand
absolutely.
them, and it has to come from the top, as you said. But I'm always fascinated how, oh, if you're too soft, then we're not going to be performing. Like, can you do both?
No. Well, this is not true exactly, because you can be a very high achiever, high performer, and be soft and kind just because this is your way to do. I don't think that you need to be aggressive or just to. I don't really tolerate this kind of leadership because for me this is not leadership. Actually, nobody uh, follow this kind of leader. But actually, in Bulgaria, I don't know why, but people need to be intimidated, need to be threatened in order to
Hmm.
follow. And I don't like this kind of leadership. This is not my
Fear
way.
based.
I don't follow this kind of leaders. So, and what you said, it's completely true because here they understood actually that toxic culture can be c- can be produced of how actually work is designed or managed. This is very important. Overload or lack of control. So this is something that we have in Bulgaria. When you do an interview, go to an interview, and you hear the manager says, "Oh, here we have a lot of work to do. We are very, very busy," and this is like a benefit. No, this is not normal. So please stop saying this. We are working 24. You have to be 24 hours at work. You have to. No, you don't have to be. You don't have to do it. This is not normal. But this is still kind of benefit for some Bulgarian organization. The work environment. So if they put you in a storage room because they don't have a place for you, well, this could cause a burnout, or this is a toxic culture. And the third thing that for me, I don't know, this actually I don't know if in Bulgaria there will be a day when we really understand this, but this should be our target actually. And workplace interaction and behaviors. This is the third um, cause of toxic culture, and this is they have it in a law. So this is the thing that I'm really shocked. When in Bulgaria you say, well, this person is behaving really bad. We have this manager that okay, he's really high performer, high achiever, but his behavior is really bad. He's um, yelling to everyone. He's well, nobody cares because he's a high achiever. But well, by law here is mandatory. So in this case here, you have to fire this person, and that's it. Because
That,
otherwise,
that's one
you
of the
have
problems.
sanctions. Yeah,
That's one of the
This
problems
is a
that there's many of those organizations and leaders that the high performance is there. I remember, I think it was Uber was one example. The first few
mm,
years or like several years of Uber, the
yeah,
company is growing. They delivered the results. The culture is toxic. People don't want to be there,
yeah,
or they want to be there for 6 months, 12 months, 16 months just to get the CV, nice paycheck, right? But
yeah,
they don't feel good there. They're actually surviving, and they when they leave, they tell everybody how bad is the culture. So short term and mid term, even sometimes long term. Some many of people
yeah,
talk. I haven't been really following because it wasn't in my time, but Jack Welch, right? Many people say he's a great
yeah,
leader, but there's so many people that say the culture was toxic. It was so focused on results, achievement,
yeah,
punishment. So it's like the challenge is many organizations there is high performance, and the
yeah.
toxicity is kind of hidden. And what do we do then, right?
But we know about these companies, and we know about them because of the media, because someone wrote an article. But do you know about a Bulgarian company? Do you know cases about Bulgarian managers, Bulgarian companies, that someone really talked about these cases with real employees with real names? No,
I,
we
I
don't
I
speak
know,
about
I
this.
know, but it's like I hear it from the employees that I work with. As a
Yeah,
consultant, because they open up at some point. They don't talk about it publicly. They just we have a
exactly.
workshop and come and work with my employees because they need this stuff. Then you go and work with them. And it's like management is
Yeah,
horrible, right? Like so, it's like it's very interesting. But I agree. There's not so much publicly. It's more
exactly.
like people share with their friends or like because again they're afraid
Yes,
to talk about it. Maybe when they leave the company
yes.
they can talk about it, but it's a little
But
bit more
nobody
of a
do it.
hidden.
Yeah,
And,
but
and, and
nobody
another
does
thing I've
this,
seen
and yeah,
Another
yeah.
thing I've heard, another thing I've heard, Martina, maybe you can correct me here because you're a lot more in the environment, but it's like um, I have many friends, smart people, ambitious people, work with great organizations, and they are like, maybe I should start something myself because all the companies are toxic. I'm like, all the companies? Come on, it's how all
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there are some organizations that the culture is not like necessarily healthy, but all the companies, like, what is the reality?
I'm happy that you say it because I don't want to see so negative. So I'm happy that actually you say this. I think the same. But I think that all the companies are toxic. And the problem, I think, is what I say, that we don't speak about this publicly. So this is a very huge problem. It's a very dangerous problem that we have in Bulgaria because of our history, our mentality, and a lot of things that we have. So we have to speak about this, and not just in a post on LinkedIn in order to have
Mm.
a lot of, yeah, thumbs ups and that's it. No, this should be something that we speak about, that we have to talk about these problems, because I I'll tell you about one case that I have, uh and it was that I had about a woman. She said to his employer that she is pregnant and that she wants just to stay at home and take care of her pregnancy. Her employer started to threaten her until the end of the pregnancy, that he was going to fire her. So he said, "Look, I'm going to fire you." He couldn't do this, of course, but she didn't know her rights, and she was so afraid because she came from a poor family. She lived with her elder parents. She had another child. So she was so afraid to lose this financial help from the maternity. And he was calling me for an advice, and just she wanted to know if he can fire her. And I say, please, don't worry. He can't do it. So don't worry. But for the whole pregnancy, this person didn't stop doing this. he was frightened her, she was threatened her, uh, sending emails, sending letters. Why? And nobody talks about cases like this, but there are so many
Mm,
women live in
mm,
this situation. And the strange thing, let's say, was that during her pregnancy, I was pregnant too. And I was really thinking about this woman who couldn't enjoy the pregnancy and this beautiful period because there was this person doing this. And there was no law, there was nobody who could do something to this person. And this is the other problem that we have in Bulgaria because actually the truth is that employers have a lot of power because they use lawyers to do all these things, and they have advisors, they have lawyers, and so um, the employees that take any legal actions, there's not so many because it's costly, because it's risky, because they don't have the money, they don't have
mm.
uh, any
They rather quit.
guarantees
They rather
actually.
quit and just not deal with it,
Yeah.
or stay
So
because
I'm
they
really,
need the paycheck and just try to
yeah.
suffer through it, and they just accept it. Mm.
Exactly. So this is very sad, and we don't talk about this, and we have to talk as a nation. I understand that we protest and we do all this, and we put a lot of selfies that we are going to protest against the government and all these things, but we don't do anything. When we can do it, we don't do anything. Then we go to work and we do the same with our colleague. We do the same with our new colleague. We exclude him. We do a lot of things in order to be fired. So we have to start from us. Everything should start from us, actually. So this is the
By the
problem
way,
of the
this is I
toxic
love that.
culture.
By the way, I love that. Let's stay a little bit with that one, and we have a bunch of comments. I want
Yeah.
to take some questions afterward, but I just want to stay here on the topic
Okay.
because we talk a lot about the toxic culture, and I'm happy we explore a little bit the different
Yeah.
dimensions. But I also feel like I last year I invited to one of my events an Australian guy who lives in
Hmm.
Bulgaria. He's an entrepreneur. He has
Mm-hmm.
a company together with a Bulgarian partner, great company called
Yeah.
WPX, shout out. Um, and he wrote a book called High Impact Habits. His name is Terry Kyle,
Mm-hmm.
and I invited him to our event. And because his book
Yeah.
consists of 30 plus habits, he told me for half an hour we cannot cover them all. Which habits would you like me to cover? One of the habits
Yeah.
from the book I wanted him to cover was the habit of unvictimhood. And 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 it's an aspirational habit, right? Something to build if you
Yeah.
want to be high performing. And it was really interesting because he said he lived in so many places around the world, and he's like,
Yeah.
I chose Bulgaria because it is the best place to be. I just love this country, but I have never seen so much finger pointing and victimhood anywhere else. Everybody's
Yeah.
pointing fingers. The company, the government, the regulations, because we are
Yeah.
Balkan, this and that and that. Everybody's pointing fingers. He's like, I cannot understand you guys. You have the so smart people and beautiful country. Everybody's pointing fingers. What if you start looking at
It's true.
the finger here and you're like, what can I do? Instead of the
Yeah.
company this, the leader this, what if I start with a change? Mahatma Gandhi, like, be the change you
Exactly.
want to see in the be the change you want to see
Yeah.
in your
It's
company.
true.
What if it starts with you? And maybe I want you to talk about this, Martina. Like everybody listening, I don't care if you're HR, if you're a CEO, if you're whatever founder, employee, just started a job as a student, junior worker. It starts with you, Martina. The ball is yours. Talk to me.
It's true. It's true. I completely agree with you. Have to start with us. Because in every company, actually, I don't know why, but in every company that I was, I had to make a change. And I had to create an HR department from scratch. I had to make a change. I had to make people understand that HR is important. And I worked with a team. Yeah. And I remember one of my colleagues told me, "Well, Martina, you are here to raise our salary and to made us to make us be in a better condition. So this is your role. It's not well the other things we don't care. If you say you have to work that well, if you say we have to do this and that, well, maybe we are not going to do it. But your job is to raise our salary. So this is the way of thinking of the Bulgarian employee. They need someone to make them feel better, to live better, to have higher salaries. And no, it's not like this.
This
Well,
is
if you
cultural.
want
This is
to,
cultural. This is
this is cultural.
historical, right? Like we have that.
Yeah,
Yet, I think this is something can be changed. I think it can be changed. Of course, we have, and again, this international podcast. A lot of people listen in the USA, so it's not only for Bulgaria, guys. Like I mean, it's
no,
also universal. You can find the same in American companies,
absolutely.
Australian companies, so on.
Yeah,
We're taking this example because both of us are Bulgarians, but I do believe, and I mean, I haven't been an employee for more than a decade, right? I built my own businesses, but when I was an employee, for me, it was like I show up and I do my best. The best I can do is
exactly.
the best I can do. That's my motto. The best I can do is the best I can do. Meaning, there will be some obstacles, there will be some constraints. I can try to leap over them, but usually complaining, gossiping, pointing fingers
Yeah.
doesn't really help. Doesn't really help.
No, no. Absolutely. They think that this is the way, but it's not the way. Change is hard. Of course, you need to put a lot of effort to change. If you want to see a change, you have to put a lot of effort, and this is the missing part in some organizations. Well, Bulgarian, but not only, because if you want to see a change, you have to make a change, and change is hard. And when it starts, the hard part, nobody wants uh, to do it. I read this, and it was exactly what we are talking about. That everybody wants to go to paradise, but nobody wants to die. So this is the same. Yeah, so you have to do the hard part in order to go to the paradise and live there. So that's it.
And
In
there's no guarantee.
everything.
There's no guarantee. Because
Um,
you might
Well,
spend 2 years, like doing your best, protecting your team. So you make some change. Maybe you're not gonna change the whole global organization and the leadership. You can make a change, but there's no guarantee. You can make the change, or maybe
it
it's not gonna work,
depends.
and you. That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
It can
It
happen,
depends because
but there's no guarantee.
there is no guarantee, but at the end, if you do all these good things, at the end, you have something for you. Very good. Okay. You
A
do the
hundred
hard
percent.
thing, the hard job, and you are going to win something for you. I think that every time that you do the hard part, there will be a prize for you, for the team, or it's not that you're going to be recognized for your manager from your manager or your CEO. Well,
Mm.
I don't believe that this is the price. Actually, we have to do the things for us and not the things for someone else. So when I go in the morning at work, I have to do the job and I have to do it properly. But because of me, because I want to be recognized as an expert, not because someone will come and tell me very good job. Well, if they do it uh, perfect. But this is something that this is my standard. This is something that I do. This is what I am. So we are talking
I
so
love it.
much about personal brand. We are giving a lot of money and going to do these trainings for personal brand. And in the other day we go to work and we are doing and staying there and just doing shopping online and not doing our job because we are so oh wow, I hate this job, I hate this. Well, no, come on, it's not this the way. Uh, no,
It's your
no,
standard.
no.
It's your standard. It's not about
Yeah,
your manager, whatever. Like my standards to show up positive, to be constructive, to do my best, to be a leader.
perfect.
It doesn't matter
Yeah,
if I'm a manager, if I'm an executive, or I'm just a junior. I need to do my best to be a leader, and then I get feedback.
yeah,
Maybe I'm, but my intention should be that I do my best. I think that's the right attitude,
exactly.
and this is what creates
Yes,
your personal brand is your reputation. It's
absolutely.
nothing else,
Yes. So,
right? The online
yeah,
things they only amplify your personal brand, but the way you act, the way you do, this is what
exactly.
creates your personal brand.
Yeah,
Martina,
it's true.
we can go on like for 20 more minutes, but actually I want to take a couple of questions. I see we're both
Yes.
super excited about it. I want to take a couple of questions. Mm, I see. Okay, the first one comes from Manis Tamatova. I think it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
on the topic. So she says, unfortunately, I won't be able to join today, but hope you discuss also what can I do as an employee to change it without leaving the company. What if my manager's priority is achieving the KPIs, for example? Should I leave? If only I feel like that.
Well, I think that we already said we have to do our best. Of course, as I told you at the beginning, we can't change the organization. If we are only one, if I'm the only one that see that something it's wrong in these organizations, in this organization I can't do much actually. So I can do my best. I can try to speak with my manager. I can try to explain what how I feel, what is wrong. But if I don't see any understanding from the other part, I think that we have to leave. We can't change the organization. This is a mistake that I made in the past, and this is one of the biggest mistake that you can do and think that you can change the organization, that you can change the leadership. No one can do it if you are just one person. This is impossible. uh, Unfortunately, here I can be positive and say that we can do big things. But if you are, because if you are a professional, you will find the right job for you. But staying in the same place, trying to do your best, trying to explain, trying to, or trying to hope for a change. No, I'm sorry, but we can't do much, actually.
Unless,
We have to be
and I agree with
more.
you, unless the management, the leadership is purely giving signals through their actions that they're open to make a
Oh, yeah.
change, that they want to make a
Yes,
change.
of
Because
course.
sometimes they
Yes.
they they are aware and they say, "Look, I see the culture is now not where we want it to be. I have some blind spots. I come from different type of background. I need your help,
Yeah.
guys." And then, and I've worked
Yes.
with such organizations, and then it's a work in progress. You know that there's gonna be changes because the leadership is open to make these changes with the support of other leaders and so on in the organization. Then
Yes.
that's worth it staying and fighting
Of
for.
course. Yes. You have to speak, you have to talk and to say and to try really to do your best and to make a change. But only in this case. Otherwise it's really impossible to see a change. If you have this management that doesn't understand, and sometimes, as I say, they are doing the things on purpose, and they are looking for the result, to have this kind of toxic culture, to have this uh kind of behaviors between the the employees teams and all these
What are some of
groups.
those?
So
What are some of those hidden, not hidden, but like this kind of behaviors? I read one of your LinkedIn posts. I think you did an interview with somebody, and then some of the words that I picked from there were microaggressions, double standards, unclear
yeah.
roles, punishment with silence, and then
Yes.
shouting is another one. You like. Uh, I mean,
Well,
some of them are not so hidden,
they're
right?
very
Shouting is not so
common.
hidden. Mm.
No,
But like
it's not so hit. Well, yeah,
punishment with
they're actually very
silence. that's
common.
a that's a
Yeah, yeah. This is something that well,
specialty. Mm.
there are a lot of yes. Well, just the manager doesn't. doesn't want to talk, doesn't want to speak with this person. I had a case
It's
like
like in the
this.
movies. This married couple that somebody says it's fine,
Yeah,
and
it's the
but
same.
it's not
It's
fine.
exactly the same. Yeah. So I had a lot of cases like this that the manager says, I don't want to speak with this person anymore. I don't care. I don't want to see this person from tomorrow. I don't want to see it.
Mm,
Or they just don't speak with this person, and the person stays on his desk there with doing anything because nobody gives him any task or any job staying there. And this was for weeks, actually. So at the end, the person say, well, maybe it's time to leave. Maybe it's not okay
mm,
just to stay here. There are a lot of uh, forums and, well, flags that we can see, but these are the most common. The exclusion, you see the exclusion, you see that this person is alone. I had a lot of these kind of cases. They just
mm,
say, this is not our fit, this is not the person that we want. I don't care, I don't want to work with this person. So we have to find a solution. Or the other thing that I already said, it's that if you want to do a change, so this is the other side. If you want to make a change, you speak with the management, you try to explain the problems. Probably you see an employee that it's not productive, who is staying on the desk, just, I don't know, doing shopping online all the day. So you say, look, we have to fire this person. We need more productive person. This is a problem. So at the end, you become the problem, because actually the person who is doing nothing, it's not the problem for the manager. He doesn't bother the manager. He's there. He's just going
mm.
on every day. He's in the office. He's doing something. Nobody knows what, but he's doing something.
Yes.
The problem is you, that you are going every day to the CEO saying, we have a problem. We have to do this. In order to be more productive, we have to fire this person. At the end, they say, oh, come on, we have to really fire this person every day. There is a problem. She's always complaining about this, about that, about this employee. No, we have to fire her. So this is the risk in a lot of organizations, that actually you are the problem because you are talking about the problems in the organization. And I had a lot of cases like this. So
Mhm.
this is the problem is the leadership. And if you want to have a really productive high achiever company, you have to be aware of what is happening, about aware of your employees, and it's not so easy
I love you.
sometimes.
I love this metaphor, and interestingly, when I was preparing for the episode, I saw that you were using it one of your recent posts on LinkedIn. The metaphor of leader as a leader, you're like a gardener.
Mm,
Your
yeah,
organization is your garden, and I think such a great
yes,
metaphor, because if we start looking into how can we create a nurturing culture, nurturing and productive organization, it's really, if you see it as a garden, the leaders of the
yeah,
garden, they're the ones that set the frame and the structure, and often we talk about values, and many people think values are something soft and fluffy for the HR department. No, this is your
yeah,
core. This is the core of what you do. When we do trainings, and we've done hundreds and hundreds of trainings in organizations, the first letter of our acronym for a high performing team, the acronym is perform. The first letter is purpose and values. You need to understand
absolutely,
what you stand for. Values is is your compass of how we act. How do we make decisions? How do we behave? The behavior is connected to the values, right? Like the garden, we need to set up the garden. We need to set up the vision of the garden. What do we want it to be? We need to have a nice, clean, nurtured kind of garden to begin with, and then you start bringing in new people in. Again, if you have a really toxic garden already, the new people in it,
yeah.
they're not gonna thrive. If you want to plant a flower, a beautiful flower, in a really toxic garden, it's gonna be hard for the beautiful flower to as resilient it is, right? At some point, it's gonna, I don't know if the flower can leave, but it's gonna die, right? It's gonna be out of there, and
Absolutely,
but at
yeah.
the same time, But at the same time, if you set up a really good ground structure, like it's high performing, because people don't want to stay in a garden that's nice and nobody gives you, but it's like full of uh, weeds, and it's like a messy, it's not performing culture, but it's nice, everybody, yeah, it's sunny, whatever. No, people don't want that. They want a combination, right? And when you bring some people in,
Absolutely.
you have to have the cultural fit. This is what we stand for. This is how we act. We're
Yeah,
going to be giving you feedback. We want you to win. We will take care of you. This is what we expect from you. And then it's like, what do you stand for? Can you relate to those values? Is that who you are? On top of being a great performer, I
absolutely.
need you to fit in this culture, right? So I think it's both.
Yeah.
It's like you have to have a nice garden, and then you bring the right kind of people, they will thrive. If you get the right people to a toxic garden, that's not going to work.
Absolutely. A lot of people they create these gardens and then they don't care about the garden. So this is really the problem. They create a garden and they think that everything will bloom, just like this. But it's not true. So when they start to have a lot of bushes and a lot of mess, they start to say, "Oh, why?" But this is actually, the problem is the garden. It's not me that I'm not taking care of the garden. No, it's the garden the problem. No, it's not true, and that's what here in Australia they understand. As I told you, that actually the problem is the leadership. It's not the employee. So the leader is responsible for everything, for the culture that they are creating in the organization, and this is mandatory. And they have and the other thing very very important here is, okay, so how we are going to create this garden, this culture, because this is a question for $1 million. Now how we are going to do this nice garden at the end with this uh positive culture. Actually, here we have the training, we have the information, we have to teach, to train the people to recognize and to understand when the culture is toxic. So when you have a person that knows when the culture is toxic, because actually the problem the situation that we have in Bulgaria and in many other countries is that we don't know where the culture starts to be toxic. When we are living when
Mm.
we are living and working in a bullying workplace, when just because I make a joke, and this a toxic culture, is this a bullying or not? Where is the border? We don't know this, so we have to train people to understand, to recognize where is the danger, when the culture starts to be toxic. And then you turn from a victim to a person who really understands, that live, that work in this kind of culture. So we pass from just a complaint, employee who is complaining, to a breach of the law. And this is very important. In Bulgaria, we don't know which is toxic and which is not, which is
Mm.
bullying and which not. So we are just, yeah, we are complaining. It's true, because
And
nobody knows where is the border, what is toxic, what is not toxic, what is discrimination, when I'm
mm,
discriminated, when.
when can I report it?
And okay, yeah, and okay, I think that I'm discriminated, I think that I'm bullied, I'm something happened with me, then what? Well, I will go and talk to my manager, and he will say, well, you're a problem because we are creating a lot of problems, so I'm going to fire you. No, it's, well, we can't create. So actually, our target should be this. We have to understand, we have to be really aware of the problems that we have. And well, it's okay to talk about the nice things and all the good and nice things that we have, all these, yoga in on Wednesday, and I don't know, bananas in the office. I remember 10 years ago, this was the coffee and fruit, the bananas in the office. This was the top of the positive culture. Well, but we are not monkeys. uh, a banana is not enough to say that I'm working in a positive culture, workplace culture.
If you have a
No,
garden, if
this
you have
is
a
not
garden that's
enough.
full of weeds and it's messy, and then you put some bananas on top, it's a little bit nicer with
Yeah,
bananas, but it's not going to solve the issue. The garden
exactly.
needs to be watered daily. It needs to be taken care of daily. And I think that's the challenge. You talk
Absolutely.
about we set up the culture and then no, it's like I showered today. I'm done in 2 weeks. you
Yeah.
know, Imagine what happens in
Yeah,
2 weeks if I don't shower. It's the same with leadership and culture. And by the way,
absolutely.
one other dimension I want to add to here, because we talk about
Yeah,
toxic culture and nurturing productive culture.
yeah,
But from my experience, and Martin, I interviewed more than 300 people. I work with hundreds and
yeah,
hundreds of organizations. I've seen many different type of culture. Like it's
yeah,
not
it's
like
true.
nurturing productive culture. There's only one way to do it. It's many like any company has their own way, and I've seen many companies doing it differently. Like some of them are really casual, and like they have different vibes, different way of doing it. And I wonder, because I
Yes.
want to make it a little bit more personal, it's like if you have to pick, let's say three, but you can go more if you want. What for you, if you are building your own team, what are the most important, like, for you? Imagine you have
Yeah.
to build a new team right now, and you want to incorporate top three values important to you and your team. What would they be? Like, what's
Yeah.
the first three that come to mind?
Wow, for me it's of course to be open. I really appreciate when you're open, when you tell the truth. This is very important because sometimes we are very nice people, but we are not true. So for me it's very important to be true and to say the things that you feel. I'm okay with this, I'm not okay with this, why, and then we will have one agreement at the end, but not just to this punishment with silence that I really hate. This is something that I don't know, this is something that we have in our culture, I think, because I saw it in the childcare when I was a child. And this is something very for me something really stupid, because you can't understand what is the problem. Actually, we are not um we don't know how to talk, we don't know how to communicate. And this is a big problem, because if I come and say, look, I have this problem with you, I don't like if you do this and that, or I feel like this, and then starts a silence, and you
Hmm.
can understand why. Just we have to really learn how to communicate, and that if I come and I see and I say, look, I don't agree with this, I agree with this, but I don't agree with this, can we find an agreement? Okay, we can find an agreement, and that's it. We are friends.
That's
And
great. That's a great value.
everything is okay. Yeah. So this is a big problem. So for me, this punishment with silence that I saw in a lot of organizations and in a lot of institutions, I think that it's something cultural Bulgarian. I didn't have time to research this topic, but I have to do it
The
because I'm
PhD.
researching.
Hmm.
Yes, another PhD. I don't have time, but this is something that I saw. No, this is really bad behavior and
I love
bad
that.
habit
I
that we
love
have.
that. This is it's a great value, and I've from my experience as well in the Balkans, or like in
Yeah,
sort of like in Eastern Europe, also in other places, but it requires a little bit more effort from the leader to have these one-on-one conversations and to
yeah,
really ensure that the other person feels safe to point out things. And if I can add on top of
yeah,
that, because I spent a lot of time in Denmark, they usually
yeah,
they're honest, but they don't really care about the words they pick and the energy they give the feedback. And I think for me the best culture is where you can immediately give feedback and point out and address the issues, but in a good tone. So that'll
yeah.
be if I
It's
can
true.
add on top.
Yeah.
Give me the second one. I want to be respectful of your time, but I want to hear all of them. So what would be the second value? The first one is
The second
this
one,
honesty
it's
and safety.
freedom.
Freedom. All
For me, it's
right.
very, it's freedom, because I don't care actually with all my teams. I don't care about how you're going to get the result. I care about the result. We have to. I need to have this by Monday. I don't care if you do it in the night, in the morning, when, how, I don't care. For me, this is very important because every person is different. So you want to work in one way. I probably don't agree with you, but this is your way. Okay, I'm okay. So every person has his own way, their own way to do the things. So for me, it's very important the result. If we need to achieve this, how,
Mm.
when, it's your job to do it. Uh, you have to manage it, but I need the result. So for me, this is another
Love
thing
it.
that it's important because I'm this kind of person. I have my way to do the things. I achieve the result, but I don't like someone to tell me how to do it. Um, so
Outcome
I'm a
driven,
lion,
but
so I
process
don't.
free. Outcome
Absolutely,
driven, like
yeah,
like we have to be productive, take ownership, deliver results. We align on how you do it, but then how you do it, you just go about it, man. It's
yeah,
your way. Like this is the deadline, we agree upon it, this is the vision, okay? We're on the same page.
yeah,
Go. Have the freedom,
yeah,
take chances, experiment, don't, not everything is gonna work, but it's
yeah.
you achieve the
If you
result
need
your
help,
way.
yeah, I'm
I'm here.
here. Of course, if you need help, I'm here. I can help you every time. But it's your job. You have to do it in your way. So this
Mhm.
is the freedom for me.
Love it.
It's very
Go.
important.
What's the
Yeah.
third one that comes to mind? What will be the
This is
third one?
something revolutionary that I'm going to say. Actually, I can't treat everybody in the same way. So I'll explain you what I mean. Because nowadays, everybody say that we are capable to do everything. Everybody is capable to reach everything. I don't think so. This
Mm.
is my opinion. We are different. So sometimes this could be a good thing, a very could motivate someone, but could be a pressure for other people. So actually, with the people that I see that they can achieve more, uh, I'm more demanding. And with the people that I see that can achieve the same level, uh, I'm not so demanding. And actually, they are different talents. They are different capabilities. So I can be the same with everyone, and I can treat everyone like a genius, because we are not all the same. I don't like this. I don't agree with this that everybody can achieve everything. Um, it's otherwise
No, I love it. I
every
love it. Everybody has
yeah. So
equal access to opportunities. I agree on that one.
absolutely.
But
Yes,
not, that
but not
doesn't mean that they
everybody
have,
can achieve. Yeah, it's true. So
no.
these are
Some
the
people put
three.
more effort, some people more talent in certain
Absolutely.
areas,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's
And
part of the game. Market
someone
economy,
doesn't want to do it.
competition.
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. I'm a very
Love it,
competitive
Martina. I
person.
think I think we can definitely have a build the company together at some point. I have a couple more. Maybe I'll add on the Phallus side. I only give you three, but I'll probably add
Yeah,
one that's the third one. Maybe that's individual approach. I'll call it individual approach,
yeah,
the one that you described, because I think to me it's an important value for how I lead. Everybody needs different type of leadership, different type of
yeah,
treatment, different type of understanding their
absolutely.
motivations and one-on-ones and so on, but also to clients. Individual approach. I
Yeah,
cannot deliver the same
absolutely.
keynote to every event, you know. And
Absolutely.
again,
Yeah,
not every company. By the way, this is not good for every company. Company like whatever IKEA, that's the opposite of what they
yeah,
do. For them, it's efficiency,
absolutely.
simplicity. It's not individual approach. It's
Yeah,
it's it's a book. So it really is about who are you. And I'm with you. This is a very
absolutely.
important value for me. The fourth one out that is personal development.
Mm,
Like
yeah,
always looking how to learn, get better. This obsession to be
absolutely.
better. This I want my
Absolutely.
team and everybody to all the time to be like, hey, let's go to this conference. I read this book. I learned a new skill. I used
Me too.
AI, and it's like like I want learnability and personal growth to be
Yeah,
like an important
this is very
like we
important.
continuously growing obsession to
Yeah,
grow
yeah,
continuously. So hey, there
mm,
you go. We have a
yeah,
four of them. What was it? We have the honesty, integrity kind of piece, like
yeah,
you know be kind but tell what it is. The second one was freedom
The freedom.
of process, but focus on outcome. The third
Yeah.
one was individual approach, and the fourth one is personal
Yeah.
development. There you
Yeah.
go. There you go. We have a
We
team,
have a
Martina.
company.
That's the garden. That's the
Absolutely.
garden. And then the real work
Absolutely.
begins. Once you define those
Yeah.
things and put the behaviors under each of them. Because by
Yeah.
the way, initially with my team, I had these beautiful values we talked about. And I'm like, everybody got it. Now we can run. And then they didn't get it because the words meant something else for them. So we had to do additional
Absolutely.
meetings and sessions to define what does it mean productivity and ownership. Oh, it means
Yeah.
exactly these kind of behaviors in the context of our team.
Absolutely.
And now we have the operational system on paper. Everybody understands it. And it's about for us to start living it and on a daily basis to water the garden,
Yeah.
to take care of the grass
It's
and
a
all the
hard
stuff.
job.
It's a
I don't
hard
know if you
job.
have a garden. I have, and it's a hard job. Really.
I don't have a garden. I have a metaphorical leadership garden with the things we do, but great job. Like, by the way, this is great LinkedIn post. You need to definitely kind of, take pictures of you in the garden and talk
Thank you.
about leadership. I want to give shout out to everybody who's been watching us live and just read the comments before we kind of finish. Victoria Varsanova joined us from Sofia. Maria Podowski was with us. I'm gonna read the comments, which
Hello
maybe
to
came half an
Maria.
hour ago, but Maria says toxic culture is another label that is hard to work with. It's easier to label. It's hard to decide what we are ready to tolerate as leaders, as organizations, as employees. Victoria Varsanova joins with another comment. Just a second. Come on, baby. Okay, my phone. All right. To add to Martina's examples, you witness lunch arrangements being agreed in front of you, but you're not invited. Yes, that also happens in some organizations. Maria Podolsky has another comment. We get what we tolerate. Sometimes we tolerate because something else is important for us. For example, money, opportunities for development.
Exactly.
And it's our responsibility to decide what we tolerate in order to achieve these other more important things, values. Of course, I'm already assuming that we have addressed what is toxic for us with our manager, colleague, etc. We have Iva Taneva. She has a question. I think we might have covered the question. She asked, what if the problem starts of all the managers? Maybe with all the managers. But I think we talked about that maybe. What if the problem starts with all the managers? What do we do then if the managers are the problem is there? But I think we talked maybe 20 minutes about that. Eva, let us know. Let us know if we haven't covered it. We'll definitely get in touch again. This is Slava Plochich. This is Slava is mentioning, I admire you speaking up about this topic. I'm sure you change lives just by people listening to you. We all need more awareness about it. It's certain that many employees out there work in toxic cultures and most likely need help to change their struggling situation. And then Galina
I want to say
Koleva,
something.
I'll be back to that. Just let me just read Galina and I'll be back.
Okay.
And Galina says change is a good thing and it's not scary to start. Back to you, Martina. Tell it.
The last thing I really want to finish with this, that actually an HR can't do much, an employee can't do much if you are alone in organization, in a toxic culture. But we have to start speaking more about this. Because here in Australia, this is health and safety topic. Have you ever heard about health and safety specialists speaking about burnout, speaking about all these psychosocial risk and hazards, because this is the official term that have here in Australia? No one. So we have to start speaking about this. HRs, health and safety. We have to be really aware of what is happening and really raise this problem and talk about it. And really, our target should be to have a law like this. This is our target, and we have to work a lot. As I said, it's very hard to change. The job is a lot, but we have to start from somewhere. And everybody told me you are very courageous to talk about this. Very good. Yes, but I'm alone. I need people with me to talk about this. Real cases, real examples of people that are suffering, because there are a lot. They are writing to me in private saying that they're suffering, and we need to speak about this. We have to start,
And
because we
you mean
see this
both,
toxic.
right? You mean
Yeah,
both
yeah,
publicly to have the discussion, but also within organizations to, let's say, to inform the
abso-
employees what their rights are and when they should address, and to talk to the leadership
absolutely.
and address these issues everywhere.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. But as HR and health and safety, we have this duty to talk about, to ask to have regulation, to have a law. Nobody does anything. And we are just complaining, because we're just complaining and talking. That's it. And I'm honest, it's true. Uh,
Uh,
we need to
we need action.
really to
We need
act.
change.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Martina, this has
So
been amazing. I know it's getting late in
thank you.
Australia, and I just wanna give you the final kind of maybe the way to wrap up the episode with a final message to everybody out there, either leaders, HR people, employees. What would be your final message to them when it comes to toxic culture, to making a change? Like, give us the final message to summarize the whole episode.
Well, we have to stop tolerate, and we have to speak. Really, we must speak. We have to raise our voice and really to speak and to tell, and to stop. We have to stop hiding behind all these phrases. If you don't like it, you can just leave it, or if you don't leave, you like it, and things like this. No, we have to talk about this, all these cases. We need to talk about real cases and stop tolerating. This is the most important thing. And we have to think about, when we do the bad things and we have a bad behavior, what actually we are doing, because uh mm, as I told you, when we are living in a toxic workplace is like to be ill every day. So I don't know if someone wants to cause this pain to someone else. We have to think about this.
Not a surprise. There's the phrase "Thanks God it's Friday," right? It's can't wait for the weekend because the whole week I'm suffering. That shouldn't be the case. It should be
Yeah,
like, can't wait to be
yeah,
Monday so I can go to work and just thrive and have fun and build stuff and create with a great team
yeah.
based on around a purpose and a mission. Like, I mean, anyway, okay, Martina,
Thank you.
where could people find you? I know you are on LinkedIn and you're posting things. Like, is that a place
Yeah.
if people want to follow you just to connect on LinkedIn?
Yes.
Um,
They're going
LinkedIn.
to see a lot of interesting things, and I really will be happy if they comment and they share cases, and more we are, more we achieve. So
Drop a line, guys,
I
under
hope.
the stream on LinkedIn. And of course, if you enjoy this episode, we have more than 230 more episodes. So make sure to check out Productivity Mastery on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. The more people subscribe, the bigger the leverage we have to invite even more exciting guests. So a follow, subscribe would be much appreciated. So when we have another episode with another HR director on Monday, so just a few days from now. So stay tuned. We'll definitely do a live again. And that's from us. Happy Friday. Do
Thank
not
you.
tolerate toxic culture. Do not tolerate. Speak up. Speak up. All right, everybody. Have a good Friday. Thank you,
Thank
Martina.
you.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.